Professor Samson Olajide Oke was born on 13th March 1956 in Ile-Ife. He hails from Lassa Ijesha in Obokun local government, Osun State, Nigeria. He attended St. Paul's Anglican Primary School in Lassa Ijesha, 1963 to 1968, and later attended Elisha Grammar School, 1969 to 1973. And in 1973 to 1975, he had his HSC. He attended University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, where he obtained BSc Botany, 1978 to 1982. He completed his first degree in 7 semesters instead of normal 8 semesters. That was the first of its kind in Obafemi Awolowo University. He obtained MSc degree in 1985, PhD in 1993, all from Obafemi Awolowo University. Professor S.O. Oke joined the services of Obafemi Awolowo University September 1983 as a graduate assistant and rose through the ranks to become a professor in October 2012. Professor S. Olajide Oke has served as member of and chairman of various committees and boards at the departmental, faculty, and university levels. He was an elected member of Senate 1995 to 1997 and 1998-2000. He was assistant secretary of ASU for 2 years, 2004 to 2006, and general secretary of the union for 4 years, 2006 to 2011. He was the acting head of the Department of Botany from 2009 to 2011. He has been a member of several investigating panels. He has served for 2 terms as an elected member of University Governing Council, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, 2011 to 2015. He has also served as Director, Institute for Entrepreneurship and Development Studies, IFED, from 2014 to 2016. He served as Dean, Faculty of Natural and Applied Sciences, First Technical University, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, from 2019 to 2021. Professor Oke has supervised a thesis of 2 PhD and 18 MSc degree students. He has coordinated and supervised many entrepreneurship and management training programs packaged by the Institute of Entrepreneurship and Development Studies, IFED, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. He has served as internal examiner in several departments in the university. He has published more than 45 journals, articles in reputable outlets, both national and international. He was part of the team that started the pre-degree program by the Center for Distance Learning, CDL, in 2003, under the leadership of the pioneer director, Professor Oladipo Aina, and he served as the coordinator of biology for 13 years, 2003 to 2016. He has made significant contributions in the areas of mentoring of staff and students and capacity building at different fora. He has been a part of the theme that strengthening undergraduate and postgraduate teaching and training in foundation courses like plant ecology, biostatistics, and fieldwork in the Department of Botany. Professor Olajide Oke has traveled widely to attend seminars, workshops, and conferences locally and internationally. He has served as a visiting lecturer, professor, and external examiner to several universities. He has served as assessor of many professorial candidates in many universities. He is a reviewer to many national and international scientific journals. He belongs to many academic and professional organizations, including Nigerian Field Society, Botanical Society of Nigeria, Ecological Society of Nigeria, Indigenous System Association, Nigeria Society for Environmental Management, South African Association of Botanists, and American Ecological Engineering Association, just to mention a few. He has served as council member, Botanical Society of Nigeria, from 2006 to 2011. He is currently a member, Board of Trustees, Ecological Society of Nigeria. He is a consultant to many environmental management companies, especially in the areas of environmental impact assessment, EIA, environmental auditing, EAs, and baseline society. He has, to his credit, many technical reports in environmental aspects of tropical environment. Professor S. Olajide Oke has served various dioceses in Church of Nigerian Anglican Communion in many capacities. He is currently a supervising national director of Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship, Nigeria. Professor S. Olajide Oke is married to Mrs. E. Olanike Oke, and the marriage is blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby introduce to you our indefatigable Professor S.O. Oke to present his inaugural lecture. You are welcome.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it is with an overwhelming sense of gratitude to the Almighty God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, that I stand in good health and sound mind before this eminent gathering of university principal officers, provosts, deans, head of departments, royal and spiritual fathers, family members, teachers, and mentors, colleagues, staff, students, and well-wishers to deliver 393rd lecture in the series of inaugural lectures of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. This 393 inaugural lecture of the OAU Ile-Ife is the 6th Department of Botany. Incidentally, 3 of the first 5 inaugural lectures from the department had been from the unit of plant ecology. The other ones are from plant physiology and plant taxonomy. I thank God that my inaugural lecture today is the 4th from the plant ecology unit of Botany department. I thank God for this day. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my career adventure into the field of botany was a true manifestation of the fulfillment of the divine purpose of God in my life. I never dreamt or thought I would ever be an academic person. But by divine providence, I became one. And today, I stand before you to render an account of my little contribution to knowledge. I give all glory to Almighty God for this day. Steps are ordered by God, and so were mine. So not by accident that I studied botany, and my choice in this regard was deeply rooted in my desire to be a biology teacher in a secondary school, where my friends and classmates were applying for courses like medicine and pharmacy. I applied to study botany, where many of us in biological sciences in part 1 were applying for a change of course at the end of the first year. I did not apply because I made up my mind to be a biology teacher in a secondary school. In my first year, 1978, during my undergraduate studies here, the Department of Botany of University of Ife, now OAU, all students in part 1 in the university did the same elementary mathematics 1 and 2 in Hamatan and 8 semesters respectively in 1978 and 1979 session. My performance as a biological science student caught the attention of the then head of department, Professor Abayomi Lawansin, now of blessed memory. And he was surprised and I did not apply for change of course like others. That's why my very good performance. On his option to the new session in second year, he called me to his office and asked why I did not apply for a change of course. My response then was that I desired to be a biology teacher in a secondary school after graduation. This surprised him. He encouraged me to keep it up and said, if I could maintain the standard, he would me and ensure that I would finish a semester ahead of my colleagues and become a botany teacher in this university and not in a secondary school. This was a motivation for me, and he kept his word, mentored me, and I completed the degree program in 7 semesters, rather than normal 8 semesters. This was the first of its kind in the history of this university. In 1983 September, I turned to the university to study plant ecology at postgraduate level, and I was employed as graduate assistant on September 20, 1983. This was the beginning of my story in academics. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, an inaugural lecture is an occasion of significance in the career of an academic and the core university tradition worldwide. There are 2 schools of thought of delivery of inaugural lecture. First, the first school of thought is an opportunity for newly appointed professors to present public lectures related to their field of study, to mark the appointment or promotion. According to the second school of thought, this is a platform for a professor, not necessarily a new one, but a public servant. First, thereby giving an account of his or stewardship or contribution to knowledge to the university community. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I belong to this latter class. I have carefully x-rayed my research trajectory over the years in the forest, and I have chosen to speak on the topic which aptly describes the nucleus of my academic voyage, that is, biodiversity, conservation, and management, roles of children of Adam and Eve. Ecology as a field of science. The science of ecology is generally viewed as a discipline that studies relationship between individual organisms or systems and their environment. I'm concerned with natural systems, physics, and physical sciences. Vegetation, the object of my study, which is the creation of the 3rd day, that is Genesis 1, verses 11 and 12, could be defined as the assemblage of plants in waters, land, and air in a given area. Ecology deals with individual plants, a population, and aggregation of populations and communities. The overall aim of ecology is human survival, and the field is of ever-increasing relevance as man continues degrading his environment, tropical environment. As is the tropical environment, geographically, that part of the world mostly lying between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. The area is characterized by very small variation in day lengths throughout the year. Rains that come mostly during the period of long days and during periods of shorter days. Seasonal temperature variation is small. As a plant ecologist in tropical area, I carried out my investigations as a natural scientist, hoping to contribute to our understanding of the world around us and provide information to applied scientists for use in technological applications and for us to benefit more from the biological resources around us. Forest ecology. The forest is a type of vegetation consisting predominantly of woody plants and from which grasses are virtually absent. Forests contain resources upon which lives of most African countries depend. Forest products are harvested for food, raw materials, medicine, fodder, house construction, and handicrafts. These products make people living within forest areas depend so much on forest. In terms of broad ecological zonation, Nigeria has forests in the south and savanna in the north, occupying about 20 and 80% of the land area, respectively. A large and growing population of these forests has been and is being affected by major disturbances, anthropogenic and natural. Over the years, I started my ecological studies in the Nigerian forest zone and research activities as a plant ecologist focus on biodiversity, its conservation and management in tropical ecosystem. Biodiversity. The term biodiversity refers to the great number and wide variety of organisms in the world, plants and animals, including humankind. The tropical rainforest is Earth's most biological diverse terrestrial ecosystem. Biodiversity is everyone's business. Up-to-date information on biodiversity is critical for proper management and conservation of an area. By protecting natural diversity, we are protecting our planet for ourselves and future generations. The story of Adam and Eve is not merely a tale of beginning. It is a profound reminder of our stewardship. As stewards, we are tasked with protecting and nurturing creation, recognizing that our well-being is intricately linked to the health of our planet. This divine charge calls us to honor and honor the delicate balance of ecosystem and the species that inhabit them. At the time of Adam and Eve and Dari, we possess a unique capability, the ability to reflect, to reason, and innovate. Our intellectual gift empowers us to understand the complexity of biodiversity and the threats it faces. However, with this power comes great responsibility. We must act as advocates, educators, and practitioners of conservation, striving to implement sustainable practices and inspire future generations. Benefit of biodiversity. Biodiversity plays vital and diverse roles in our economy and social lives. Biodiversity not only provides direct benefits, such as food, medicine, energy, but affords us a life support system. Figure 2. Biodiversity is required for the recycling of essential elements. It's also responsible for mitigating pollution, protecting watersheds, and combating soil erosion. Increasing our knowledge about biodiversity can transform our values and benefits. Nigeria is endowed with enormous biodiversity that includes freshwater swamp forest, mangrove forest, and coastal vegetation, lowland forest, derived savanna, Guinea savanna, Sudan savanna, and montane vegetation. Each of these ecosystems has its diverse species of fauna and flora with diverse genetic endowment. Threat to biodiversity. The world's biodiversity is under threat from various dangers, majority of which have been caused by children of Adam and Eve. Almost all scientists acknowledge that the rate of species loss is greater now than at any time in human history. The major threat to biodiversity is extinction, the loss of species and their habitats in low quality, less healthy, less sustainable natural ecosystem. There are 5 main factors that are threatening biodiversity, namely habitat loss, overexploitation, invasive alien species, pollution, and climate change. Figure 3. Restoration and conservation. Ecological restoration is a process of helping to restore the natural features and functions of degraded ecosystem. Ecological restoration is often an important element for conservation and enhancement of natural biodiversity. Protecting biodiversity is a universal challenge and an objective that can only be achieved through a comprehensive effort on the part of all parties involved. My background in research. The journey to this podium started on September 29, 1983, when I was appointed as a graduate assistant in the Department of Botany, born in Ile-Ife, where my grandfather was sojourning as a trader in Shomalo and as a farmer in Famia, in a village in Ile-Ife area. I had my primary education in Lasa Ijesha, my hometown, where my grandfather returned home due to old age. My closeness to nature in my early childhood triggered my interest in understanding of natural environment, especially as it relates to plants. As a child, living in a traditional African village during my formative years of life, I was able to observe the complex interaction between plants and other aspects of the environment, Eventually, I developed an interest in pursuing my career in plants and their environment. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the saying, all flesh is grass, is a statement which is both scientific and biblical. Isaiah 40 verse 6, which means that all animals are derived from plants. In a food chain, plants that make food through photosynthesis by capturing it. Primary consumers then consume this plant on the first tropic level. Second consumers then eat the primary consumers. It is therefore inevitable that all organisms depend on plants for their food, directly or indirectly. Consequently, whatever it is, the quality of the grass will eventually be transferred to other animals along the food chain, figure 4. My entry into the world of scientific research started in 1983 with an attempt to evaluate the effect of soil moisture, soil texture, moisture availability, and nutrient level of the performance of two widely distributed savanna grasses, Andropogon species and Zacarium sanguineum. Grasses are the major utilizable resources of savanna, and the factors that affect their production need to be clearly understood for improved management. Foster and Mondi, 1961, described Aegianus as the best suited for northern Nigerian range conditions, and Adegbola, 1992, ranked it highest in palatability for grazing stock, and it's heavily grazed by cattle, sheep, and goats. In 1983, observed that Aegianus and other Andropogon species in savanna of Nigeria were better accumulators of nitrogen than other grasses. In our study, that is occurring in 1990, only one nutrient, nitrogen, which is often limiting in tropical ecosystem, in savanna was investigated to minimize complexity. Our interest was to find out how the growth medium type affect the apportioning of the absorbed nitrogen to the various plant parts, since parts serve different purposes in the plant and not equally utilized. Monitoring the yield, nitrogen accumulation, and partitioning in these grass species revealed that Aegianus accumulated nitrogen better than Andropogon tentorum and Zacarium sanguineum, occurring in 1990. Our investigations further reveal a specific part of the grass where nitrogen is mainly concentrated at different periods of the year, occurring in 1990. The ability of grass species to accumulate considerable nitrogen in the below ground part and rhizome, and the decreased level in the above ground part as the season progressed enable it to use the nitrogen conserved below ground and for the new growth in the field after the first rains. Human activities and their effect on tropical ecosystem. Human activities are adversely impacting most environmental factors, essentially for the survival of other organisms on Earth. These human activities and their consequences on the environment that are making the environment less suitable for continued life on Earth have also engaged my attention through these years. The of forest composition and structure of forest vegetation is critical to understanding the dynamics of forest ecosystem and the effective management of such ecosystems. Require the understanding of their function, not only for their so to prevent their further degradation. Okay, in 1987. Understanding of this structure is thus desirable. Precisely because of the importance of woody shrubs and trees in conservation. The study of floristic and structural value vegetation in Ilefe area of southern Nigeria was embarked upon in 1997. In this study, advanced ages was analyzed for their floristic composition and aspects of vegetation physiognomy. The result of this study indicated that the more mature forest plots and more woody species with no herbaceous plants when compared to the younger plots. It was also observed that the few species were dominant in the various plots, and all the dominant species, such as Abiza zyga, Mutimia elastica, Ficus espacimata, Frondias mombin, found in the study plots, have been listed by one or more authors. However, the abundance of Nemuda leaves is a distinctive feature of secondary forest regrowth. Tamilania superba and Tablocatus xylem were poorly represented because of the excessive removal of mother trees. The occurrence of Elias guinensis, Bapia nitida, Cola nitida, and Cola accumulata in the young plots reflects recent cultivation and previous land use of these plots. However, the occurrence of Cola nitida and Mudas and Pientium is evidence of settlement in the recent past. National Forest Reserve, created in 1925, was generally believed to be ecologically rich with forestry species, has witnessed a rapid rate of destruction from excessive logging, conversion to plantation and farming. As a result, Oke and Akinyemi in 2014, therefore, studied the composition and structure of the forest reserve. The result of this study showed that forest composition of National Forest Reserve was higher than many other tropical forests. Our study revealed that the forest reserve has reasonably good woody species composition and richness in the face of logging and slash and burn agriculture in the forest. Logging affected the structural composition of the forest reserve through removal of large and tall trees. Thus, there is a need to control human activities to protect the plant species for effective management and utilization. Tungia farming involves the growing of annual or biennial crops along with the tree forest species during the early years of the establishment of the forest plantation. It is important to understand that agroforests are conceived to allow biodiversity conservation and restoration. We resolve to assess the extent to which this method of land use can provide habitat for indigenous woody species diversity, especially in the tropics, and seek to highlight the contribution of Tunga agroforestry system in 4 different forest reserves: Akwamu, Idanre, Owo, and Dore in southwestern Nigeria, as a type of land use method adopted in forest reserve management to conserve native woody species diversity and maintain soil fertility. Biodiversity, Oke, Adebola Amuku, 2014. Our study concluded that Tunga agroforestry helps to conserve biodiversity and averagely enhances native plant biodiversity conservation and generally improves the soil quality in the tropics. The presence of or absence of good vegetation cover or soil conservation measures are strong determinants of the amount of sediment generated by surface erosion. We, at Oke and Aina, in 1999, investigated the implications of forest composition and structure of soil erosion, sediment yield, and soil properties in natural habitat. The benefit of forest conservation can be assessed from the result of our study on the relationship between vegetation physiognomy and indices of soil erosion in the university estate. Oke 1999, Oke 1999A. Young plots without shade and little vegetation cover produce the highest value of runoff and sediment, followed distantly by the values obtained in natural forest plots with moderate canopy openings. The fate of Upper Lake concerning its configuration without vegetation along its watershed and on its bank was investigated in Oke 1997. Urbanization, deforestation caused by farming activities, and the prior existence of aquatic weeds within the upper catchment in Ilefe area of southwestern Nigeria have facilitated changes in the configuration of the upper reservoir and loss of reservoir capacity. As a result of this observation, it was recommended that there was the need for the dredging of the reservoir of upper if upper reservoir was to be continued to fulfill its functions. During our study on erosion and sediment yield in forest ecosystem, we observed other processes such as litter fall, stem flow, and tree fall. And this led us, in 2011, to examine the magnitude of nutrient fluxes through litter fall, incident rainfall, tree fall, and stem flow, and evaluated the relative importance of these components as a pathway of nutrient cycling to the soil of the forest. The study showed that litter fall is the main pathway for cycling of calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, nitrogen, and zinc, while net precipitation is the main pathway for cycling of lead, mercury, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and sulfur in the forest. This finding have added more value to the understanding of nutrient cycling, and most especially in the management of tropical rainforests, because the amount of nutrient returned to the forest floor is important in maintaining fertility and productivity. Comparative between upland, riparian forest and the adjacent forest. Our other interest in the critical understanding of the dynamics of the vegetation for sound management practices and the importance of woody shrubs and trees in conservation made us to embark on comparative floristic composition and diversity of the riparian forest and adjacent upland vegetation in our immediate environment, that is Ileife. In our study, it was revealed that woody species varied considerably between the two vegetation habitats under consideration, Olajide Oke and Acknowledgements 2015. There were more woody species in the upland vegetation than in the riparian forest. This could be as a result of multiple disturbances, such as flooding, debris torrents, channel migration, and landslide, as well as tree fall that occur in riparian areas compared to upland vegetation, where tree falls are only disturbance. Generally, soil night index expressed no similarity of species composition between riparian and upland vegetation in our study. A reflection of the difference in species composition of the site, channel winer value in our study revealed that the upland vegetation was more of a secondary growth species compared to the riparian vegetation. The species evenness was higher in upland than riparian vegetation, table 1. My interest in environmental management and biodiversity conservation also led to further investigation of the effect of human activities such as logging, sawmilling, iron smelting, pipeline fertilization, and limestone quarrying, and other animal activities such as bats on vegetation characteristics in tropical environments, logging activities. Further attempt to document the influence of children of Adam and Eve on biodiversity made us investigate the different species of forest trees that are preferentially extracted for use as timber by assessing their disappearances from the forest and their presence as sawmill in areas where sawmill activities were flourishing in the state of Nigeria. Our study in Agou Forest Reserve showed that different species of forest trees that were fairly extracted were extremely investigated over a certain period, occurring in 2006. The most depleted timber species in the forest reserve include Daniela ogea, Cordia mileni, Antialis africana, Tamilalia superba, Locaton lozylon, and Milicia excessa. All these were poorly represented due to the excessive removal of modern trees. We made further attempt to document the influence of children of Adam and Eve on biodiversity by investigating the effect of sawmilling on vegetation characteristics in some environments in southern Nigeria, where some many activities were blooming, such as the Sokan local government area of Osun State. The sawdust particles released led to this drastic reduction in chlorophyll content, decrease in leaf area, and decrease in internal length of the leaves of the vegetation around the studied sawmill, and in 2006A. Visual observation, however, revealed that plants within a 50-meter range are mostly chlorotic, having dead patches. In an attempt to further establish the effect of logging on biodiversity, and occurred in 2018, had a study in Oningamba Forest Reserve in South Nigeria to monitor the effect of logging on species diversity and soil status in a typical forest reserve. The result of the study indicated that all the unlocked sites, the environmental distribution of the tree species increased as the data class increased. Iron smelting activities as their the establishment of iron smelting factory in Fashion around 2012 along the Express Road in Ileife, Osun State, Nigeria, and the release of the industrial effluent to the surrounding vegetation made us to decide to investigate or evaluate the effect of industrial effluent on the soil of the crops grown in the area. Our study evaluated the growth response of pepper to the soil of the site contaminated with effluent. Our finding revealed that pepper grown in the soil produce a better yield when compared with the control soil. The heavy metal in the discharged effluent may likely exceed the threshold limit of pepper and wool over time in exploitation activities. Directly affect biodiversity through both physical and chemical modification of the environment, and indirectly in various ways. Limestone quarrying. One of the biggest negative impacts of quarrying on the environment is the damage to plant biodiversity. In 1958, the West African Polar Cement Company established factories in Erosion and Shagamu, both of which were incorporated in Nigeria, and started commercial production of cement in 1960. We embarked on field trip in 2008 in both dry and rainy season to the factory site at Erosion and Shagamu to assess the effect of the vegetation of the area and the impact of cement manufacturing on the biodiversity of the area. Our investigation occurred in the Botany about 2010 and 2012 revealed that limestone excavation in the two areas has altered the landform of the area and very large man-made ponds, hills or spoil heaps, which were not originally in the area. These habitats now supported fauna and floral species not found in other sites in the area. The spoil heap provided a haven for Lucina leucophylla, an uncommon plant in the area, and as a director indica, Longoyaro. The aquatic habitat created by the limestone evacuation has also provided refuge for crocodiles, different fish species, and some plant species such as Typha australis. Our investigation revealed that the vegetation of this area has been destroyed by limestone quarrying and the reduction in plant species diversity. Oil pipeline vandalization. Pipeline vandalization, refined petroleum product spills, explosions, and fires are common occurrences in Lagos State, which is also a coastal region. The resultant effect of what is the unfortunate loss of lives and properties. And the pollution of mangrove vegetation by refined petroleum product spill. It's against this background that we, Commander Nisi, Salami, and Oke in 2011, resolved to assess the effect of petroleum products spill mangrove vegetation in the Ilado area of Lagos State, Nigeria. Our assessment revealed that there was a drastic reduction in the abundance of both woody and herbaceous species in the impacted area when compared with the unimpacted area. And plant species generally decreased with variety of oiling. The area and plant species generally decreased with variety of the oiling. The current vegetation, which is now a modified vegetation due to human activity, has deviated from the original vegetation, bat activities. Observation in my early life, in my primary school, in my town, in Lasa Ijesha, and similar observation within university campus here in Ilefe, during my days as a student and later as a staff, revealed that colony of fruit bats, that is Adam, with very large population, are known to have a very distorted part on roosting trees and the environment as a result of their root feeding entirely on flowering and fruiting trees. Consequently, as you are there, Oke and Omishore, it's said that to determine the extent and magnitude of the damage caused by ban vegetation, to the ban vegetation by roosting colony of the bat. I also observed that they are on trees such as Ciba petandra. Our investigation revealed that bats prefer to roost in taller trees, and very soon, taller trees will soon be reduced to shorter plants in a matter of time. This is an indication that the original vegetation has also degraded. Allelopathy. Invasive species. Invasive species are one of the leading causes of global biodiversity loss. An invasive species is commonly defined as any living organism not native to an area, and introduction can sometimes be beneficial. Some introduced invasive species may be considerably superior to native because they release allochemicals which negatively affect native species. The dual role of allelopathic substances in Tithionia species on the growth parameter of plants inspire us to investigate the effect of fresh shoots, aqueous extract on Tithionia diversifolia on the growth of seedlings of three woody plants, namely Monodora tenufolia, Dialum guinensis, and Negada bateri, okay, until 2011. The result of our investigation showed that extract of Tithionia diversifolia will either have an inhibitory effect or promote the growth of the seedling of these three selected woody species. The extract promotes shoot height, leaf number, and leaf area in M. tenufolia and H. bateri, but was inhibitory to D. guinensis. In this study, it was found that the effect of T. diversifolia shoot extract on the three woody species was trend of plant invasion. After our previous work on role of invasive species on the biodiversity of native species, Acknowledgements, Oke and Oluwemi 2022. Result to study the trend of plant invasions, challenges, and outcomes. Knowledge of this trend following a plant invasion can as conservationists, scientists, forest ecologists, and other concerned stakeholders in predicting the invasion potential of exotic species to reduce the rate of invasion across the globe. Soil seed bank dynamics. My research to find out what can be done to restore the damage done to the biodiversity in the ecosystem by the children of Adam and Eve led me to study soil seed bank in different forest ecosystems, such as contrasting plantation, secondary lowland forest, riparian forest, forest reserves. Seed bank is defined as an aggregation of ungerminated seed capable of replacing adult plants. The seed buried in the soil seed bank kept in dormant state until appropriate germination requirements are met, occurred in 2006. Seed banks are very vital for the restoration of plant communities by nature management authorities. Investigations were carried out in various ecosystems, such as degraded tropical rainforest in OAU campus, in plantation, in forests of different gradients, in basic dominated area, in different physiognomy, in central forest, and in an industrial graded area. So our study in this area revealed that a low degree of similarity between composition of established vegetation and that of the soil seed bank. 2, no similarity between seed bank and woody species composition of the standing vegetation. 3, the soil seed bank may not be an important conservation tools for the regeneration of the forest. And 4, that Titonia suppressed the presence of other native species by outgrowing them, and only a few species can compete with Titonia diversifolia in its domain, where it is dominant. And the possibility of germination requirement of these species may not be fulfilled, which shows a clear indication of loss of species due to the invasion of Titonia diversifolia. You have seen that in table 4. In our study, Oseni and Akinyemi 2019, on the eating effect of fire on soil seed bank and their potential to restore a disturbed forest, it was shown that herbaceous species dominated the seed bank with few woody species emerging from the seed bank of the 3 different physiognomy in both heated and unheated soil samples. Generally, our results from this study showed a positive soil seed bank in Shasha Forest Reserve and a low similarity between the extant vegetation and the seed bank. The findings concluded that a soil seed bank alone may not be appropriate tool for post-fire restoration. Hence, the need to assist in natural restoration. In both the monkey forest reserve, irrespective of physiognomy, seeds were more concentrated in the upper soil layer than the soil in the lower soil layer, or the layer occurred on that 2018. The relatively large number of herbaceous species found in both the monkey forest vegetation, compared with woody species, suggested that depending on soil, a large seed bank to regenerate a degraded forest ecosystem may result in restoration failure. As a result of the information, that little research has been conducted on seed banks in riparian forest, especially in southwestern Nigeria, Olaloye and Oke 2016. We embarked on the assessment of the soil seed bank composition and its role in the restoration of degraded riparian and upland vegetation. Our main objective was to determine the species composition and the density of the seed bank in the riparian forest and compare it with the species composition of the standing vegetation. 51 species emerged from the seed bank of riparian forest consisting of 4 woody species, namely Acuna cordifolia, Tremia orientalis, Elas guinensis, and Matus opposifolia. Only one of woody species that emerged from this seed bank, Acuna cordifolia, were observed among the established standing vegetation, while other woody species were absent in the standing vegetation. This dissimilarity between seed bank and the above ground vegetation of the riparian forest and the adjacent upland vegetation of the study revealed that soil seed bank is insignificant in the restoration of the great riparian forest and upland vegetation. Importance of our investigation on the role of seed bank in restoration of the great ecosystem. Olatunji Oke and others 2015 investigated the influence of different levels of disturbances occurring due to the siting of industry in the Ile-Ife area And now it has affected the relationship between the stand vegetation and the seed bank. The index of similarity of the seed bank and stand vegetation in all the 5 plots using some index of similarity showed a little similarity index between the seed bank and the corresponding stand vegetation. Performance of crop plants. A better understanding of the environment is important for plant growth and development. My experience as a grandson of a farmer in Lhasa Ijesha, my hometown, when growing up and later as a researcher, with my interest in the effect of environmental variables on crop performances, informed the study of the growth and yield responses of cowpea to soil from different fallow ages and soil moisture of various regimes in the rainforest. The effect of plant density on the growth capacity of seedling of cowpea, the effect of various soil moisture regimes on the growth parameter of cowpea, and the effect of fallow soil on different physiognomy on the growth of cowpea. As a result of our investigation, we learned that cowpea can satisfactorily have vegetative growth under a greater diversity of climatic soil and cultural conditions, while the growth parameter and yield were adversely affected by low soil moisture regimes. Hence, the more the soil moisture levels without water logging, the higher the dry matter yield. According to 2001. We also suggested that for are exposed to industrial effluent. Against this background, Olajide Oke in 2015 evaluated the effect of industrial effluent on the premises of Ife Iron and Steel Nigeria Limited on soil properties growth and yield of pepper. Our finding revealed that at low concentrations, industrial effluent in soil produce desirable and better growth characteristics and crop yield. It also improves the soil properties by improving the soil nutrient status, especially the soil organic matter. Other works. During my 2 years sojourn as the director of the Institute of Entrepreneurship and Development Studies, IFED, OAULEFE, I had the opportunity to collaborate with other senior researchers in the institute. In the existing literature, there is a paucity of information on the ecopreneurship in developing countries, especially in Nigeria. It's against this background that the study was set to review critically ecopreneurship and other related concepts to synthesize a structure that could be useful in promoting ecopreneurship in Nigeria. It is evident from our study that entrepreneurial ventures with a unilateral focus on profit could not address sustainability in the current global inclination. Obisanya, Adibiti Abejo, and Oke 2016. Therefore, ecopreneurship is an indispensable tool that deals with environmentalism and capitalism towards achieving dual goals of profit and sustainability. The proposed framework in this work could guide policymakers in making decisions that will fast-track development propagation of ecopreneurship in Nigeria. Conclusion. Chancellor, sir, by now, reason for the choice of the title of this lecture will have become obvious. Protecting biodiversity is critical to the survival of our planet and all living creatures on it, including the children of Adam and Eve. The activity of the children of Adam and Eve as a result of population growth and the expansion of economic activities are impacting aquatic and terrestrial biodiversity, making the ecosystem less suitable for the survival of human and other organisms and continued life on Earth. In spite of emphasis placed on biodiversity conservation, the rate at which the plants in Nigeria have been depleted is alarmingly high and calls for our urgent attention. This depletion is occasioned by the use of wood for fuel by a large proportion of the population of Nigeria. As a result, more dead and living plants are felled for firewood. The immediate consequence of human interference with natural vegetation brings about little resistance to heavy storm, which damages residential building in the cities and villages. To avoid this situation, our government should make gas and kerosene available and affordable to the common people by restoring subsidy on them, so that majority of people may use gas and kerosene for cooking, eating. Interference with natural vegetation intensifies and degradation worsens. Some plants are lost completely, extinction, in the process, while some are threatened and some others become rare. To arrest this ugly trend, tree planting should be encouraged and intensified. Planting trees restore critical habitat for biodiversity. While kept yard may look nice, they are natural habitat. Therefore, in your own house, section off a portion of your yard and plant native trees, shrubs, flowers, or trees to help meet the food, clean water, and shelter needs of local worldwide. Don't make your yard to look like a cemetery, that is 100% concrete floor. It is important to educate the youth on the importance of the world biodiversity and why we need to protect it for many generations to come. We inherit the biodiversity from our parents and we borrow it from our children, so it doesn't belong to us. To adapt the challenges we face, we must embrace innovative approaches to conservation. This includes the integration of traditional ecological knowledge with modern scientific practices, community-led conservation efforts, and use of technology to monitor and protect biodiversity. Collaboration across disciplines, science, policy, education, and art will be essential in our quest for effective management and preservation. As we move forward, I urge each sitting here to reflect on your role as stewards of our planet. Whether through research, teaching, community engagement, or personal life choices, we can all contribute to the preservation of biodiversity. Let us unite in our efforts, sharing knowledge, resources, and passion for the natural world. In conclusion, biodiversity conservation is not merely an environmental issue, it is a moral imperative. As the children of Adam and Eve, Adari Hunu, we have created a sacred trust to protect and nurture the planet for ourselves and future generations. Let us embrace this role with humility, courage, and commitment, striving for a world where biodiversity thrives and all lives flourish. On the whole, I could say I have contributed my little quota in the area of plant ecology to the knowledge of environmental management and conservation under various environmental variables. Other contributions. My first answer, and my distinguished audience. My contributions are not limited to research alone, but extend to other services within and outside the university. I have served, and I'm still serving in several capacities in this university and other universities. I have served, and I'm still serving as internal examiner in many departments in the university. I served as head of department 2009 to 2011. I started secretary of ASU 2004 to 2006, secretary of ASU 2006 to 2011, and two-time elected member of University Senate 1995 to 1997, 1998 to 2000, two-time member of University Governing Council 2009 to 2011, 2011 to 2013, director of entrepreneurship IFES 2004 to 2016, during which the maiden edition of the Institute Academic Journal was produced. I thank all those who worked with me at various times. I have served in many faculty boards and committees in the university system in the course of my 42 years as academic staff. I was part of the team that started the pre-degree program by Center for Distance Learning in 2003 under the leadership of the pioneer director, Prof. Olajide Oke, and I served as coordinator of biology for 13 years. I've made contribution in the area of mentoring staff and students and capacity building in different. Be a part of the team that's training undergraduates and provide training in foundation courses, plant ecology, biostatistics, and field works in the of Botany. During my brief stay at the First University in Ibadan, I served as the Dean of the Faculty of Natural and Applied Sciences 2019 to 2021 under the leadership of Professor Ibami Salami, the pioneer Vice Chancellor. I have served and still serving as external examiner to several universities, as well as member of the editorial board for various local and international publications. I have also assisted in assisting colleagues to the rank of professors and associate professors in several universities in Nigeria and abroad. I'm a member of the national and international professional bodies. I have served as a member of council with the State of Nigeria. I'm currently a member of trustee of the Society of Nigeria, Erosion. I've had the opportunity to make many positive impacts in the federal, state, and private universities We have spent sabbatical leave, such as Federal University of Technology Akure, Mobile University Iwo, and First University Ibadan. I have participated in and presented papers at various conferences, workshops, and seminars in the field of system, botany, environmental sciences, and entrepreneurship within and outside Nigeria. I have served as consultant to many environmental management companies. Area of EIA, environmental auditing, and baseline studies. Appreciation and acknowledgement. To the God Almighty, for the gift of life, good health, and sound mind, and the ability to comprehend. It is in Him that I live, I move, and have my being. Acts 17:28. To Him alone be all the glory. My thanks go to the OAU University Ife over the years for providing me the opportunity, platform, and the enabling environment to pursue my research career, and to my teachers and colleagues in the Department of Botany, Faculty of Science, and other too many to mention, who have one way or the other immensely contributed to my research work. The university provided travel grants for my trips to attend conferences and workshops within and outside Nigeria on few occasions. Parents and family. My grandparents and parents, all of blessed memory, officially gave me the best of their ability to ensure that I'm well educated despite their low income. My mother, Esther Oke, prayerfully supported me from my childhood till I got to the peak of my career. I wish he was here today. Grateful to all my siblings, Ms. Olamide Ogbeta and Ms. Olabisi Arimoro. All my cousins, who are most of them seated, nieces and nephews, all the sons and daughters of Saropoto, for their love and prayers. I also appreciate the constant love and support of my family, the Ojimi, especially my mother-in-law, Ms. Beatrice Ayola Ojimi. The role of Mr. and the entire Joka team in Lesha is highly appreciated. Teachers and mentors. I can never forget Professor Abayo of their memory and Professor W. Sanford, who believed so much in my ability when I did not see what they saw in me. Professor Sanford was the first lecturer who took me to the forest for data collection during my first degree project as my supervisor. Professor Adekunle Adelusi taught me and wrote my first curriculum vitae A when I was asked to apply for post of graduate assistant during my youth service in 1983. He has been my mentor. I also appreciate my teachers and supervisors for the MS and PhD, Professor A.O. Ishiche and Professor Oladipo Aina, the PhD co-supervisor, for their contribution to my academic development. They mentored me through these years. My practical exposure to industry and other fields for my practical application of my academic training has been publicly supported by the following professors: A.O. Ishiche, Oladipo Aina, Abiodun Oluwole, Funso Adeniyi, Adeagbo Amushan, Bode Asubiyojo, Martin Olorunfemi, MC Akinyemiju, Lorin JJ, and late Bamidele Solomon. Professor Bamitale Omole, demonstration of love and support is also appreciated. I thank Professor Olayinka Ogunkoya, who practically supported the take of my PhD research work. Professor Montoya Olorode, Professor Eduwa Upetu, and Professor Abiodun Odu, who also mentored me politically and academically, are highly appreciated. I'm very ever grateful to all of them. Colleagues and friends. I have many friends and classmates, especially Lisa Grammar School students, 69 to 73 set, Lisa Grammar School, 73 to 75, the HSC set, they are all West Student, and Unife, 1982. And all my other colleagues, I truly appreciate their contribution to my life and career. Everybody that you are doing, cheerfully and willingly accommodated me and other friends when we are all growing. I appreciate my following colleagues who are my companion in the forest on several occasions. Professors Duro Idele, Idesho Nebare, Victor Laleye, Ayo Yemi, Peter Ogunjuyigbe, Olakidorinwa, Iyo Idowu, Ropo Akinfala, Deji Aduwo, Dr. Joshua Oluwasesan, and Mr. Biodun Fashion. I love you all. The support of Professor Ayobami and Professor Mr. Olusola Salami in all ramifications is enormous and highly appreciated. Students and prodigies. My students, past and present, are too numerous to mention. They keep me stimulated, and I learn a lot from them. I've supervised 18 masters and 2 PhD students. To the glory of God, my first graduate student, Dr. Oladipo, today is a professor. And is my current head of department. I appreciate them all. church family. As a member of the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, I cannot separate my success and life achievement from the support of the clergymen. I gratefully acknowledge the following Lord Bishops: As Reverend Olubumi Oluwati Orubogun, As Reverend Dr. T.O.P. Fajemiloku, who is resident there with the wife, As Reverend Dr. Oluyamo, also resident there with the wife, As Reverend Olubumi Akinlade, As Reverend Dr. Olusola Kambi, and As Reverend Brother Kwashaju for their support, love, and prayers. They and all clergymen who are also seated here, all of them are here, in the various Anglican dioceses, provided the platform for me to serve the Lord in various capacities. I appreciate the congregants in the various Anglican churches where I and my wife, where we worship. I appreciate them all. I appreciate the support of the Good Gospel Fellowship International, where I'm currently advising national director. The happiest people on earth, they are very loving. The Lord is good. All the time, I am a living witness. My community, I appreciate larger sons and daughters, including KBS, for their support. I enjoy support of the senior ones, especially Biodiversity, Senator Francis Adoniba Fada, you, colleagues, and junior ones. I love you all. The current president of IAU, that's the National Union, Mr. Mrs. Dupe Ajayi, I appreciate you for your demonstration of love, especially during our strike in 2022. For 8 months, she supported my family financially. Members of my committee, an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. I want to extend an honorary appreciation to all members of the Nature Planning Committee under the chairmanship of Professor Said Adekilekun, leading 30 others. I thank all who supported this inaugural lecture financially and spiritually. I'm eternally grateful. Almighty God will reward you bountifully. My immediate family. Lastly, to the lovely member of my family, my darling and beloved female wife. Olanike Oke, Ayami for the past 40 years. The bone of my bones and the flesh of my flesh. For our love, patience, endurance, and understanding, and standing by me all the time. On few occasions, she accompanied me to my PhD project plot in the thick forest. To our wonderful children, Uluwadami Lola and Titi Lope, Uluwatobi Lola and Temitope, and Aduagbemi and my grandchildren, who have always been there to support, encourage me, and made the home a peaceful environment for me to operate from. You have been so wonderful. I say thank you. Ishe, mo dúpẹ́ o, ojú ni ti yín o, ìdànù kan ti yín ni yín o, ìyàwó ni báyìí jẹ́ o, àdà fún yín o, ayé yín o, ìgbà yín á tọ̀rọ̀ o, mo dúpẹ́ mo lóore o, ojú ni ti yín o. Thank you for listening.
Congratulations. It is a tradition of this university being a pace setter. This is the only university you will find this. We give certificates of inaugural presentation to our inaugural lectures. And that is the time to present it. Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Certificate of presentation of inaugural lecture. This certificate is presented to Professor Samson Olajide Oke for giving a professor of Botany in the Department of Botany, Faculty of Science, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria, delivered the 393rd inaugural lecture titled biodiversity conservation and management roles of the children of Adam and Eve. On March 11, 2025. Congratulations.